said trying to reconnect.
Oh, okay. We just lost it for a second. Is it right now? Okay. So today we've got lots to talk about because at the end of last week's video I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? I'm running out of things to talk about. But of course, through the week, things come up. The first one I wanted to do was start with some light entertainment, the acronyms. So, for those who don't know, I have a whole list here that I've been researching because there's some I didn't even know. I haven't even heard of some of these, and they're hilarious. Of what us stitchers call things. Like, we're insane. I swear to God, us stitchers are insane. We have to be. Anyway, here goes. BAP. B-A-P. Big ass project. When I first heard that, I thought it was hilarious. They're things like massive, big, heaven and earth designs. I know most of my designs are huge, so that's what we're talking about there. Haid, Hayed. I used to say head. Heaven and earth designs. I'm sure we all know that one. OAAT. One at a time, for those who are just one project at a time. RR is a round robin. I haven't done one of them, and it kind of fascinates me a little bit. I've seen them going around, and I think they're a great idea. Okay. Sable, S-A-B-L-E, stash acquired beyond life expectancy. Yep, I'm in that club. Sal, stitch along. Sex, stash enhancement experience. I hadn't heard that one before. S-M-A-O, SMAO, stitching my ass off. Frogging is having to remove stitches you've done. Rip it, ribbit, get it? UFO, unfinished object. A project that's been put aside for a while. I've got plenty of those. A USO, an unstarted object. Got plenty of those too. WIP, work in progress. I'm sure we all know that one. ATC, an artist's trading card. I didn't know what these were. I'm sure my kids do. What? They're the like little card size things, like, I don't know, you know, like you get collector's cards and stuff. Instead of stitching the artists' art, people sometimes go and buy their art on cards instead. So I didn't know that one. Oh, this one. I like this one. A PhD. I've got plenty of PhDs. Projects half done. Tweeding. When you put two colours together to form a tweed, which is similar to variegated thread. So I'm guessing that's like when you stitch Therese Wentzler, because that's the first designer that pops into my head with putting two different colours together in a needle, and Mirabilia. Confetti stitches, I'm sure we all know what that is, or all of us that stitch BAPs. That's when you might stitch one little cross and then have to change colour again, and then stitch another little cross and then have to change colour again. So, yeah, that's confetti. OOP, out of print. FFO, a finally finished object. CATS, Creative Arts and Textile Show. Didn't know that one. FTLOCS, footlocks. I'll say footlocks. For the love of cross stitch. ISO, in search of. LNS, local needlework store. MSAL, a mystery stitch along. An AUT, old raggedy threads. PILF, patterns I'm looking for. PPR, post-project restlessness. I get that all the time. I swear to God. I love the process of kitting up and getting the design and getting all excited about the design, getting all the threads, getting the fabric. As soon as I've done that, I'm like, Blah. Okay, yeah, I'll start it, stitch on it for a week. Moving on, what's next? That's me. RR, round robin. Here's another one I didn't know, didn't heard of. Sins, stuff I never stitch. I have sins. I have lots of sins. Stuff I never stitch. I never ever stitch samplers. They do not appeal to me at all. I don't stitch. Oh, I have to think about that one. But yeah, samplers are not my thing. So that's something, one of my sins. A FUFO. A finished unframed object. Didn't know that one. An ONS, online needlework store. I like this one too, and I have had a couple of these. PFH, the project from hell. Yeah. I've got probably too many to mention. A PhD, or we've done that project half done. Peter, a pain in the ass. Got plenty of them too. Rack, which you will hear mentioned on just about every designer's group, website. There's even the option when you buy a chart now for a rack, and I was surprised that people don't actually know what that means. It's a random act of kindness. So if you go to a designer's website and there's the PDF option, the printed option, and then the rack option, if you want to send a rack, which is a random act of kindness, which is basically a present to someone you know, you choose that option, and that chart will then get sent to that person that you want to rack. Strip. Didn't think that would come up in cross-stitching. It's really called a stash reduction implementation plan. I've done that a few times. I've planned to reduce my stash, and I have done okay. I've put a little bit up in an album in my group that's I'm going to get rid of, and there's plenty more. Yeah. And there's another one I hadn't heard of before. Tusal, a totally useless stitch along. How many of those have we joined? And Wisp, work in slow progress. Okay, I'm just going to, I can't hear the buzzing going on, so let's see if there's any questions. Okay, Kim's got SOS or SOS, shiny object syndrome. Yep, that's me. Yeah, there's another good one. So there's some acronyms. If you've got any more that I haven't put there, because I'm sure there are literally thousands out there. And I only just looked at a few different blogs to pick some up. Like some of them I'd never heard of, and I thought that was great. So they're the acronyms. Somebody through the week asked if I could show you how to stitch over one and over two. What does that mean? How many threads do you use? What fabric would you choose to stitch over one, over two? So we'll go into that a little bit. I'm going to put that up there. But instead of me getting fabric out, because it's going to be really hard to do and hard to see, I've got this grid paper. So Em's just coming around here so you can see it. So this is going to be, you might have to stand over this side. This is going to be our fabric, and this pen's going to be our thread. And when I'm going to stitch over two, like 1 over 1 or 2 over 2, I'm going to use 2 lines to do it with. So stitching over 1, now let's just pretend that's a piece of fabric, and they're all your little holes. All those squares are your little holes. So stitching over 1 would be just stitching over, can you see that? You might have to get in a bit closer. Stitching over 1 would be just stitching over 1 little square like that. Most of the time when you're stitching over 1 on any type of Ada, you would stitch, just because it's so big, like the squares are so big, you would stitch with 2 threads. So you would get good coverage over that cross when you come back. It would actually fill the cross. If you're stitching on, say, let's just say 32, no, we're not going to say 32 count because I don't stitch on 32 count. Let's just say you've got the 28 count opal here. And this is what I actually do. This is my main way of stitching. I stitch over 1 with 1 thread on 28 count. You don't need to. It will be way too bulky. You won't be able to fit your needle through the next squares once you've got quite a bit stitched. And the coverage, when you first start out, the coverage doesn't look great, but as you get going along, the other stitches you put in actually pushes it all together. So a lot of the fabric that you can see underneath, the cotton will cover it. So don't panic about that. Once you've got like I'll show you with my slash that I've done later, the coverage on 28 count. It really doesn't bother me. And things like, now this is 25 count. I know this is one of those fabrics that people get a little bit confused about, and it's because of the coverage. I stitch 1 over 1 on 25 count. There's no way I'm stitching over 2. It would just become so bulky and untidy that it would end up horrible. So I keep it 1 over 1. So that's what we're talking about when you're saying 1 over 1 or 1 over 2 or 2 over 2. When we're going to do over 2, what we're doing is we go over two squares, not just 1. And normally, because if you're doing 2 over 2, you're normally stitching on an even weave or a linen. You're not stitching on Aida. And what it does is that would make the 28 count fabric would actually make you stitching like it was on 14 count, because you're going over 2 squares instead of 1. So that your little X's will be much bigger than stitching over 1. It's like double the size. So in effect, you'd have to calculate your fabric for 14 count, or make sure that when you go onto your stitching calculators that you put that you're stitching over 2 on 28 count. Most of the time you would use 2 threads. I don't think anybody stitches over 2 on Aida, because that would make, say, 14 count Aida, that would make it a 7 count fabric, which would be massive. And even tenting, I've tented on 25 count fabric and I use 2 threads, and that, believe it or not, you cannot tell that that's even been tented. You just can't tell, which really surprised me. So that is stitching over 1 over 2, tenting, cross stitch. It's really that simple. You just got to, my preferred stitch is 1 over 1 on 28 count, just 1 little X, or 25 count, which is just the 1 little X with 1 strand of thread. But with Mirabilias, I use Opal Lagana and I do 2 over 2, but that's the only design that I do 2 over 2. Steph, what is tenting? Tenting is pretty much just basically the first leg of your crosses, and you don't come back and do the other, you don't make it a cross, basically. You just leave it at that half stitch. Yeah, so that's basically all it is. There's all different types of tenting, which I don't want to get into because I don't even really understand it myself and I don't know how to explain it, but like there's continental stitching and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm doing, if you have a look at my whips when I show them next time on the other video that we did, Dead Hearts is tented on 25 count, and you would not know that that's only a half stitch because the coverage is really, really good. I'll get this one out now just to show you the coverage. Now, I think it was Danny Hooley, if that's how you pronounce your name, put on the Mirror group the other night that she was concerned about the coverage she was getting on the 28 count. Actually, it's not this one, it's this one. With the Mirabilia, I'm going to show you mine so you are a little bit more comfortable with it. So this is Persephone on 28 count opal, stitched 2 over 2. And as you can see, once you get a lot of stitching in there, the coverage actually gets better. It kind of pushes all the stitches together. So keep going with it. Don't freak out too much. I think the coverage 2 over 2 on 28 count opal is really, really good. You just got to get a fair bit of it done. So that's an example of stitching 2 threads over 2 squares on 28 count opal. God, this camera just keeps flicking in and out of focus. And this is an example of stitching 1 over 1, so 1 thread over 1 little square on 28 count opal. So you can see the massive difference in the size of each stitch. Like, I don't know if I'm even going to see, you can see how tiny those stitches are compared to being, that's more like 14 count because it's over 2 squares on 28, and that right there is over 1 on 28. So that's the difference, is the size of your stitches. And so I couldn't put 2 threads over 1 because it would just be a massive, bulky, complete mess. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about over 1, over 2, what's best for each fabric or design. I started doing a Mirabilia, as you saw in one of my previous videos, over 1, and I think the stitching looks great. I love it. But like I discovered, I'm not going to fit any of the beads. So follow your pattern, people. Don't think you're clever, and because you're not. Sucked in to me. Now I've got to find all new beads or maybe French knots. So there you go. That's that. The next thing that people asked about, Amber's just walking around the table. So was that clear? I can't remember who asked that question. I think it was Royson or Robin. One of you asked that about the over 1, over 2. Maybe Robin, maybe. I can't remember. Rachel. I think it was Rachel. It was someone that started with R.
You never get names right.
Yeah, I'm hopeless. Like Amber just said, I don't get names right. I don't get anything right. I'm a total mess most of the time. Okay, so I'm going to port that up there. Fabrics done. That done. Designs that I sell. Because I've gone through the fabrics and the threads, and someone said, well, hey, let's get out designs. Great idea. So I'm going to start with other designers' designs that I sell on my website, and then I'll get to my designs. And I've only got a couple of each because I'm not getting them all out, because there's literally, I've got thousands. And I don't want to put them all away. So, yeah. I'm going to do it upside down so Amber can see. So these are a couple of Mirabilia designs that I just grabbed randomly. Like I said, another thing I said in a previous video, I didn't really, Mirabilia has never really appealed to me for a long time. I was a BAP stitcher, big ass project. I loved dragons and witches and stuff like that. But then when I got into hand-dyed fabrics, people were buying my fabrics to stitch Mirabilias on, obviously, and they were showing their whips in the group, and I became really fascinated with it. And now, as you can see, I've got about 3 on the go, and I've got Nora Corbett's, which is the same designer. I'm going to do all of her witches. Yeah, I'm addicted. She got me. So they're Mirabilias. For those who haven't stitched anything other than BAPs, which is just basic cross stitch, no specialty stitches, no back stitching, no beading, no embellishments, nothing. I think the hardest thing about a lot of them is mainly only Heaven and Earth Designs use Krynic, and a lot of people hate that. That's about as hard as it gets with them. And I think these kind of designs do scare those basic stitch. Like, I'm not saying that use basic stitches, that's terrible, but you know what I mean. You're not doing anything out of your comfort zone, I guess. So these can be a little bit daunting because they have quarter stitches, half stitches, a lot of back stitching, a lot of beading, a lot of specialty threads. If you're up for a challenge, I would recommend you give them a go, because the end result, I mean, they are absolutely stunning. So that's my 5 cents on Mirabilia. And there's also Nora Corbett, Witch of the Witches, which you all know because you've seen me do it. Now, these I have just stumbled on. Thanks. Oh, just leave them in the other side, Amber. Thanks to Karen Young. Now, Karen, I'm supposed to make you want to stitch stuff and buy stuff. You're not supposed to make me want to stitch stuff and buy stuff. It's the wrong way around. God. Terrible. Blackberry Lane Designs. I don't know if you guys have seen these, but they are gorgeous. So I'm going to do these. And these are great because these little charts, it's not just one design. This has 3. You have, oh no, this is 2 designs, but they've done it on all different things. So you have the bell pull design, which is obviously one of those, either that, I guess. The bell pull design. And you have the Orts container design, which I don't know. Oh, and there's all ornaments in there as well. So all of those designs on that front are in this design. How cool is that? How cool are they? I love them. So, like, I need more starts, like I need a hole in the head. But hey, it's Halloween coming up. Why not? And this one I love. Thanks, Karen. I really, really appreciate that. And of course, I have this colour dye. For that fabric colour, I have that colour dye. I am going to dye fabric that colour. So I've already pretty much got like an orange with Rocket Queen, and I've already got a few different purples, but I think at last would be closest to that maybe, because it's a bit of blue and purple. But this colour I don't have as a regular, but I have the dye. So, and I love that green with the black. It looks great. So I'm going to keep it that colour. I'm not going to change anything. And this pattern booklet comes with patterns for the bell pull, an Orts container, a pin cushion, a pillow pin cushion, scissor fob, and a shaker pin cushion, horn book, and the framed piece. So you're getting loads of designs in that one little booklet, and I think it's like $16. Bargain. These are all on my website too, by the way. Okay, another one which I'm sure you all know. Jamie is the designer and she's in the group. And it's white willow stitching. My favourite by far. Skulls. And of course I'm going to do that on Red is the Rose. One of my fabrics. I don't know what thread I'll use yet. Obviously it's going to have to be a light colour. So I don't know. I'm tossing up between just using like, is it 819, a baby pink, or a variegated DMC. I don't know. So yeah, they're tribal designs. They're just all, yeah. These also could work really well with beads if you wanted to try the beading. I mean, that skull would look awesome in all beads. So that's something else I might do. So that's white willow stitching, and that's a little sample of them. And here we go again. Karen Young. Wrong way around. I'm supposed to be encouraging you, not me, not you encouraging me. What are you doing? Oh God. Okay. How cool is that? Something wicked. Beautiful. I don't actually stock Weeks Dye Works threads, but I might start because a lot of these designs that I'm starting to bring in, that's what they're using. I mean, of course, these sort of designs, you can use anything. You can change it out to DMC, silks, anything really, I guess. But yeah, I think I will bring in some Weeks Dye Works. But how cool is that? I love it. And here's another one by La Di Da. So these are new designs that I've just got on the website. Witch. I'm slowly bringing them in, and I'm kind of drawn to all the real witchy ones that she does. So if you see any other designs of any of these ones that I'm showing you that I stock, you just have to let me know and I'll put them on the next order. Because at the moment, if people don't ask, I'm just picking them myself. And every couple of weeks, every month or so, I pick different designs. Now these again, oh my God. Deb Diamond is responsible for my new addiction to Stony Creek. I love that. Look at that. So simple and so beautiful. I really love them. And all of those designs are in that booklet. Just ignore the prices on them though, because they're in US dollars. And as we know, Australia is a little bit more expensive than that. And this one went off like crazy when I put it in the on the website for the first time. I love that too. How cool is that? So Stony Creek, they're on the website as well. Another designer that I cannot remember who asked me to get them, because it was about a year or so ago. But these have gone nuts. You're pointing at nothing.
No.
Fire Wings Designs. The dragons. There's a whole series of those. They've been really popular as well. And I guess because you can muck around with the fabric and thread colour with those. And I watched Danny Hooley's YouTube video. I hope I'm saying your name right. And she did one of the dragons, I think it was Messenger maybe, on some waste canvas and stitched it onto like a messenger bag. And it was really, really cool. I love that. Very, very clever. Or her project bag. This is one that I came across not long ago. They really appeal to me. Nimue. She does a lot of really cool fairy designs and little goblins and stuff like that. So in the back you can see some other samples of designs that she does. Yeah, so that's another designer that I have. These are quite expensive, and I guess it's because of she's based in France, I think. So I guess it's because it gets converted from French to the US and then to Australian. Yeah, they're a little bit expensive, but I think they're beautiful. And I haven't seen any of them stitched. I'd love to know if any of you guys have stitched them and finished them, because I've sold heaps. I'd love to see some finishes on them. Everybody knows ink circles. Well, everybody should know ink circles. I'm doing the Cirque Day circles, but there's a whole series of the Cirque charts. There's one with love hearts, triangles, squares, I think. I can't remember, but there's a whole series of the Cirque patterns. And then she's got all these other beautiful designs as well, like mandalas and stuff like that. And Namaste, that one's been pretty popular. You can pretty much make anything you want out of that pattern. Another really cool one that probably everyone's heard of is Glendon Place, and I love their Halloween ghosty, spooky charts. I've yet to start one, but I really need to, because they're awesome. The charts are actually awesome. And then they've got the desserts, which is why I started buying Glendon Place, was their desserts collection, which is like your plum pudding and your raspberry parfait or strawberry parfait and all those, grasshopper pie. I've seen some whips of those and they look amazing. Pretty sure on the back of these, which is good because you got the different threads that are used in here, and a lot of dinky dyes are used in Glendon Place, which are pretty easy to get hold of. I don't stock them, but you can get hold of them pretty easy, and they use Mill Hill beads as well. And she's got the DMC and anchor conversion to some, like the Sullivan's threads. So yeah, there's some specialty threads used in those. Another one all you guys would know is Alessandra Adelaide. Every month she brings out more designs. I try and keep on top of it. Someone always has to remind me, but I'll put up a post in the group towards the end of the month before they come out. So I'll be like pre-orders for the next month. And sometimes she kind of catches me off guard because I'll put up the post and then the next day she'll introduce another one. The last month I put up the post and I think she introduced another 2 after I'd put up the post. So I've ordered them a couple of each anyway, just in case anyone wants them. Now, the Aussie girls will know these. They're country threads. These, to me, I feel like these have been around forever and ever. All Spotlight carries all this stuff in kit form as well. So I'm pretty sure every Australian stitcher will know country threads. Designs. Now to some of mine. I've got these ones printed out. So I thought I'll show you some. But if you weren't aware, as well as dyeing fabric, I also have a range of colour Cascade designs on the website. If you scroll down on the menu, you'll be able to find them. But it's one of those things where, like, I wanted to really have my own style, I guess, of designs, and try not to do what everybody else was doing. I didn't want the same feel as all the other designers. So I love horror. I love anything dark and stuff like that. And I really wanted to showcase some Australian artists as well. So that's kind of the road I went down with designs. And I totally understand that a lot of my designs aren't everyone's cup of tea. That's perfectly fine. But that's why I went that way. I didn't want to be just another designer that had the same thing everybody else had. So that's why a lot of my stuff is horror and dark. I'm pretty sure that Logan Knight has been with me from the very beginning, as well as Joanna von Frankenstein and Lydia Misfit. They're probably the first three artists I picked up. So I have just massive, like, look how thick. And this is what I mean when I changed all my charts to the large format. This is why when you order a printed copy that sometimes you're going to get, the postage might seem a bit much, but Rapunzel is a massive chart because it's a really long chart. Look at the pages, the thickness of that chart. It's because it's got so many pages, and it's because the the chart design, not the actual design, but the chart is magnified because I find the regular size just too small. And that's just the way that I do them. So here's just some of, I've already seen this one, some of my designs. Like, I love, love, love that one. I need to start that one. She keeps getting put aside for some reason. I've started this one. This one I'm actually working on. Here's Marilyn with tattoos. Love that. And there's that. And if you go to... just keep it on there for a minute. If you go to the website and you want to look at designs but you don't know which artist or whatever, I'm just going to sign into the computer. Just go to, I'm just going to take the phone from Amber. Go to the website and see this menu. If you go down and just click on Color Cascade Designs, it will just give you all of the designs I have in alphabetical order. And you can just go through the pages that way rather than having to know who the artist is, if you want to do it like that. So yeah, that's my designs. I have, I can't remember. I have over 100 designs. My business mainly focuses on fabrics, but I do like to bring out designs every now and then, but of course I don't bring them out as regularly as other designers do. So, and as you can see, I like horror. I know that's not everyone's taste, but there you go. And I was actually surprised. I went through on the back end the other day when I was just cleaning up the back end of orders on the website, and I was going through some products, and in the back end I can actually see how many people have a chart on their wish list. And I was really surprised to find out that the chart that has the most, is in most people's wish list, is actually a mushroom tail, which is that one. Let's see if I can get the picture bigger. That is in most people's wish list. I think the next 3 charts were Cashmere, Girly Sketch number 6, and Rush were the next highest. So that was surprising because I actually thought it would be Girly Sketch because I think that's the one that most people are doing, that people see the most on Facebook because there's a few people stitching it. And Rush, I know because Rush, people just love that chart and I'm so happy that they do. So, yeah. I'm just having a look at these comments. I'm going to just go back here and where we were up to. Jeanette, when working with water lilies, can finished stitching be steam ironed safely? I'm pretty sure they can be. I'm going to put that one out to the girls that have actually had a finish with the mirrors and the water lilies. So Kim, Christine, Ali, if you guys are watching, can you answer that question? Or anybody else that's actually finished a mirabilia using water lilies? Deborah. Hello, Deborah. Mirrors don't scare me. I don't think anything scares me. Like, we know nothing scares you, Deborah. How many whips do you actually have? And I have to say, I just have to give you a special shout out. Go here to me. I have to give you a special shout out for all the finishes you've had this year because it's freaking amazing. Amazing. Oh, not going to catch you on that one, sorry, but I might catch you on the... So you need to go back to my acronyms now on the starts that I want to do because like every time I look at all of, like I just went through those charts that I just showed you and there's about 5 in there. I'm like, yeah, I want to start that. Yep, going to start that. Yep, want to do that. Oh, God. I'm going to have like 50 whips. Yeah, Kelly, I've got them out because I'm going to show the girls my little present. Hi, Tammy from Colorado. Hi, Jennifer. Glad you could make it. I hope it's not too late. What is the name of that green? The colour's chartreuse. And I've got that colour because I did it, I think in the first year I did colour cascades, I did it as a monthly melody. And it's actually really beautiful colour. It's really nice and I think it looks fabulous on that chart, so I'm going to keep that colour. Karen, I love WWS. Yep, I've seen heaps of your work. The skull glow in the dark, Deborah, I actually was going to say that, but then I stopped myself because if you ever stitched anything in that glow in the dark thread, could you imagine stitching that whole project? No way. No way. Beads maybe, but not glow in the dark thread, no. Can I get Mill Hill kits in? Yes, I can. I can get Mill Hill kits. So if you want one, let me know. Great for the silks. Yep. Kim, not sure which one you were talking about. Maybe the WWS or the dragons. Jennifer, love my mirror Florentina on your fabric raspberry. I can't even say it. Raspberry beret. I loved that finish, Jennifer. It was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. When these are complete, how big are they on average? Which one, Steph? Are you talking about the mirrors? Mirrors usually fit on an 18 by 26 if you're doing 2/2 on linen or even weave. Same with Ada. The thing about designs is that they are different. They're not the pretty country scenes, flowers, teddies, cute puppies and kittens, etc. that's so prominent on major sites. Thanks, Andy. Yeah, look, you know, you got to find your niche. You can't just be the same as everybody else. It just gets boring. I'm not a teddy bear flower cute puppy stitcher in any sense of the word. It's not my style. And with the Australian stitches, I wanted to get, you know, like I know they're not exactly horror or Day of the Dead or anything like that, but they're Aussies. So that's why we had to go that way. I wanted to go that way. I'm just going to plug my phone in because it's telling me that it's got low battery. Linda says, I always steam press my mirrors on the wrong side. Okay, so that answers your question about the water lilies. Kim, haven't had a problem ironing water lilies. Deborah, 50 whips. Soft, you are so soft, lol. Hey, I'm too busy to have like 150 whips. You know, I get like an hour or two a night to stitch. I'm going to have to start taking a day off to stitch to get finishes. That's how ridiculous it is, Deborah. Thanks. Kim's doing Feather Fairy on Chartreuse. Dragons for the silks, the colour Cascade ones. Yeah, they're all different, Steph. The sizes, some of them are big. Like when I did the designs, I tried not to make them too big. I'm trying to get that glare out of the way. It's that light. I tried not to make them too big, but I didn't want to make them too small at the same time because then you tend to lose a lot of detail in the pictures. I think I've got one massive one. It's so huge that if you order it, I have to send you a link to download it off the internet because you can't even send it by email. And that's the Protector, which I really love, and I want to start that one as well. Oh my God. It's Aboriginal drawing by Loretta Egan, who lives north of Western Australia in an Aboriginal community, and I'm going to put up a heap of her work when she sends me some. That's massive, but it's the extra large pattern. I've also done it in, this is the only one I've done it with. I've done that one design 3 different ways. So I've done it as a regular, so it's regular size, which is about 18 by 26 or a bit over. I've done it with 175 colours rather than 90, and I've done it extra, extra large. So it would be like a freaking mural when it's finished, not a normal cross stitch. Deborah, I'm doing the Ghost Mandela in Glow in the Dark. It bites, the big one. Yes. No, thank you. No. No, 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 no. Not going there. Don't even challenge me because it ain't happening. How often do you add new colours to the fabric range? Oh, not as often as I should. I do the mysteries, and what I'm doing with them is I buy all different dyes. Every time I put a dye order in, I buy about 4 or 5 colours that I haven't used yet. And I try them out, and what I'm finding though is that a lot of those colours are very, very similar to my regular colours, so they're not really different. So I can't really use them as a new colour because they're so similar to colours that I've already got. I'm just keep going through what they've got and seeing and waiting until I find a colour that they have which is not close to anything I've got, which is getting harder and harder because they don't release colours that regularly either. But I'm going to have to start doing some more blends because I noticed the other day that I've got a lot of just single colours and not many blend colours, which I need to remedy that. So I need to go through some of these new colours that I bought that are similar to other colours, but mix them with other colours and blend them with other colours just to get something really unique, and I need to play with it. It's just time. As you know, I've been like extraordinarily busy with catching up on orders and everything. I haven't had time to experiment. But when I come across things like I did the ice dye for Christine, and I loved the combination of colours so much, I made it a regular colour. And when I come across mysteries that pink lemonade was one, the colour was so unique and so beautiful, I made that a regular colour, just straight up, no questions asked. That had to be done because it was very different and very beautiful. So when that's kind of how it happens. It's normally Normally it's a crazy accident is how new colours come about, actually. Like I'll mess something up. I'll use the wrong colour in the wrong blend. And I go, oh, that looks pretty cool. Ice dyes, really cool colour blends that people pick. And it might be just I pick up. Because when people pick, say, you know, when you choose your colours for an ice dye, you might choose pink, green and blue. If say 3 people order those colours, I might use different shades of blue and different shades of green on different fabrics. So you kind of get to see what goes well with other colours just by doing ice dyes. So that's how they work. Okay, Marie, no worries. I hope you works good for you later. I know mine was being weird earlier. Would love a purple and orange fabric. Great, I'll give it a go, Steph. I'll give it a go. Next, I wanted to talk about, okay, while we're talking about my designs, I'm going to give Amber's going to have to come around here because we're plugged in and I can't unplug the phone. Okay, so I'm going to get this out. She's freaking out. She doesn't want to be on camera. So I'm going to turn we're plugged in, so we can't. I have to sit over here and you hold the phone. Amber has been doing Bloodshot by Logan Knight, which is one of my designs. You see that? That's coming out pretty good. Here's what she's up to. This is her progress so far. And as you can see, I've run out of a colour. So she's just stitching around it and she's being every day, have you got my colour yet? Have you got my cotton yet? Is it in stock yet? When are you going to send it? When is it? Have you got it? I'm like, oh my God, Amber, you're so bloody annoying. Like, but yeah, that will be here. And I actually purposely didn't order it because she annoyed me so much until like 2 weeks after she first asked me. So no, haha. Yeah. So that is Amber's whip of Bloodshot.
The first one.
And she started a cross stitch on 14 count and it was just a quick,
Stupid one.
it was BMO from Adventure Time. And I don't think she, as much as it got her into cross stitching and it got her used to following a pattern and it got her used to using 2 threads. This is actually on 20 count, Opal. Are you stitching with 2 threads?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's still stitching with 2 threads on 20 count. So she got bored with it really quickly. She hasn't finished it yet and she asked if she could do one of my designs on one of my fabrics and I just said, yeah, cool, no worries, pick one. Awesome. And she picked Bloodshot and this piece of fabric was in the studio session pile, so she picked this fabric. And I think, guys, I don't want to jinx it, but I think we have a speed stitcher here because she is kicking my ass with stitching. Seriously, she's so fast and she's pretty goddamn neat too. So, yeah, that's that. We saw, where did he go? Here. And because I was challenged to finish Slash by Christmas, which ain't going to happen, I can tell you that now, but I'll try. I just wanted to show you that I've been stitching on him again this week and we're starting to see the guitar, the guitar tuner keys are here. I didn't get all the way over here like I thought I would because I got busy. I've actually done, you know, quite a bit on him, so that's Slash so far. He'll get put away in the next couple of days for a week, only 1 week, and I'll work on something else. I think the next whip that I'm pulling out in my rotation is the beaded one that everybody loved. So that will be out next week, and then I'll go back to Slash the week after. Now, I love getting presents from people. I have received, I can remember Rena. Hey Rena, I love you Rena. Sent me about 2 or 3 years ago a little dragon that had a little Christmas hat on. He's so cute. Kim Howe, hey Kim, has sent me presents. Judy McCullough, hey Judy, sent me, which I love, love, love. And another one I've got to start, the Henry VIII and his wives pillow. Shelley, hey Shelley, has sent me cool stuff. Like she sent me this. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to around this cool poster which I got to get framed. I'm sorry to anybody else that has sent me something and I haven't mentioned it. I can't think of any. But I got another present in the mail the other day from Kelly Musgrave, who is watching. Hey Kelly. And it was for the videos. It's gonna be backwards, but I'll just read it. Dear Tammy, thank you for your live feeds. Oh, and just for being you. Love from Kel from Newcastle, New South Wales. Thanks. Look. Oh, I just threw it. There's the card. Oh my God, if you knew me, I would die for those shoes. And here is the gift. Like, it's a little pair of scissors. Little pair of scissors. How cute are they for a start? But what I want to show you is the little charms. I can't do it. I have to turn it around. Hang on. I can see it on my jeans. Check out the little charms that are attached to it. Skulls. Oh my God, I love skulls. How cool is that? So they will definitely be used by me. You can be assured of that. They sit, there's usually, not at the moment, they're not, obviously, they're on the table, but they're sitting right next to my stitching spot. I really should maybe do a video. Yeah, we're going to get Puff. Everybody's been asking for Puff to be in a video, so Amber's going to go get him. While she does that, you remember through the week that I had some very bad news about someone uploaded one of my designs to those, I want to swear, fuck, those websites. So now when you buy a design from me, whether it's PDF, printed, or in a kit, you are going to get, I'm going to turn the phone around again. This, I've just printed off one of the pages that I just sent out to Amanda. This is what your page is going to look like. Now, I darkened this just so you could see it. It's not so dark when you get the actual chart, and it does go over your symbols, but you will be able to see the symbols through the writing. That is how they will all come from now on, thanks to this nasty ass person. I hate you. Bloody hell, God, are people really that cheap? Like, all these designers have friggin' 50% off sales, which brings their charts down to like $7, people. $7! God, you can't afford $7, but you can go and buy fucking $100 worth of threads and fabric. You know, God, it's not even, I mean, although the designers lose money, what about the artists? People, God. That's my rant for the day. Oh my God, I've got to stop because I will get friggin', what's that disease that people have where they can't, Tourette's. I'm going to have Tourette's. I swear to God. So I'm going to stop right there. Puff's out. I'm going to show you Puffy.
He's very energetic.
He's actually going silly right now. Hello. He loves being on camera, by the way, so he'll probably start showing off and sticking his tongue out and trying to lick things and look at himself. Yeah, Deborah, I am so Aussie. I'm as bogan as they come, man. Like, God. But here's little Puffy. Look, he's staring at himself. He's such a poser. There he goes. He's just like, I like the look of you. You're cute. He thinks it's another lizard. So I was like, ooh, hey. So he's gonna go. Where you going? Oh, you're gonna headbang now. Yeah, see, he's my lizard, hey. Little headbanger. Speaking of, I'll get Amber to come and grab him. Speaking of, another one of my loves, apart from Puff, is Guns N' Roses. For those of you who are on my friends page, you will know that I went batshit crazy when I found out they were coming to Australia. And I went batshit crazy when I found out the tickets were going to be pre-released through Telstra. And I got tickets straight away, but I didn't get very good tickets. So a week later, I said to my partner, I've got buyer's regret. I got really shitty tickets and it ain't good enough. I need front row. This is once in a lifetime. They might hate each other again after this tour. I need to get up the front. So I thought, I don't spend money on myself very often, and a lot of my business money goes straight back into the business, so a lot of the time I don't even pay myself. So I got the best tickets you can get that aren't VIP, though. I could not afford VIP. I didn't go that batshit crazy. So there's this group on Facebook that's all about Guns N' Roses coming to Oz. Hang on, I've got to show you this. Puff's being silly. This is how silly he gets. Oh, look, he wants the camera. He knows he's being filmed, and he's like, oh! Okay, there's Puff. He's like, I so want to be on the camera. What was I talking about? Oh, the Facebook group. Look, now he's being good because he's on camera. Oh my God, he's a card. Yeah, so he hates my hair being in his face, so he does this weird thing. Look, he's coming up to the camera. Look. Hey. So there's this Facebook group. Stop it, Puffy. There's this Facebook group about Guns N' Roses coming over to Oz, and this girl that is on the group has a clothing store on Etsy where she upcycles leather jackets and old band shirts and stuff like that into wicked clothing. So she posted this picture, and I swear to God, I jumped on that shit with 2 seconds. So I'm just going to get it. It's so 1980s, but it's so cool. I'm going to turn it around. I got this Guns N' Roses leather jacket off Etsy. How cool is that? I'm like, yay! But then, you know what I realised? I mean, I love it, and I will wear it, but I won't be wearing it to the Guns N' Roses concert, because the concert's in February, I think the 21st, which is like the hottest month of the year in Australia. It's probably going to be 45 friggin' degrees. So there is no way I'll be wearing a leather jacket. Not even of a night. I mean, at that time of the year, our night temperatures average in Perth around 30 degrees. So there's no way I'm wearing it. But I've got it anyway. I had to have that. That was my I had to have this of the week. I fucking love it. Love it. Okay, Kim is just asking for Lizzie, which is another one of my lizards. So I'm going to unplug the phone. And I'm going to take you over to her cage and I'm going to open her door. And she's been to be asleep. But here, hey Lizzie. I hope she's just so chilled out now. She used to frill up every time I opened her door. You can see she's shedding. She's got some, like, her skin's coming off. There's a shed. And down here. Her tail. So she's not even reacting anymore. She used to just freak out whenever I touched her. But there she is. She's a frilled neck lizard for those who don't know. So when she frills up, she gets like this big massive collar for those who don't know what a frilled neck lizard is. I don't want to agitate her to get her to frill up, because I love the fact that she's getting really used to me now, so I don't want to piss her off. So that's Lizzie. Max, is Max out, Amber? No. And as you can see, like, I don't know if you guys know, I have a massive slash tattoo. I've got all this slash stuff. This was a Christmas present, and it was one of the tour posters that my partner managed somehow to grab out of one of the retailers, and he had the CD and the cover put in the frame and gave that to me one Christmas. But all of this stuff's usually in my room, but the room's still being painted. Still, people, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks it's been. Slack ass. Can you hear that, Chris? Yeah, so yeah, so that's that. So just go back through the comments. Great jacket. You're going to perm your hair? No, but I'm going to use a crap load of silhouette lacquer and, you know, do the big hair. That's not much. I mean, I still do my hair like that. What are you talking about? Max, is Max out? No. Max isn't out at the moment, and we've got him quiet, so we might do him next time. Deborah, my brother, his missus, and all their kids are going to see GNR. Yeah, well, I gave my shitty tickets that I bought first to my son and his girlfriend rather than trying to sell them. So they'll be there. I asked the girls if they wanted to go, and they said no. Like, I can't believe you girls. Oh my God. Like, Rachel's named after the bass player out of Skid Row, Rachel Bolan. Joel's named after a crusty demon, and Amber was named after this is funny. When I had Amber, I was 2 days later in hospital and I had no idea what I was going to call her. And those of you from New South Wales, I haven't been in New South Wales for 10 years, so I don't know if the place still exists, but there used to be a place called Amber Tiles. And they had an ad. And the ad used to go, Amber has the answer.
I'm named after a tile.
So that's why I named her Amber.
I'm named after a tile.
Yeah. I couldn't name you Slash, hello, but I would have if I could have. And I wasn't allowed to call Joel Axel because their father just said no. And he was a big metalhead too, so I can't understand that. Yeah, Deborah, that's for real. I could not think of a name. Every name I wanted, everyone said, no, you can't name it that. Because I wanted a real hippie name, you know, something real hippie and cool, and no one would, like, everyone's like, no.
Joel would have been Sebastian, but I had a galah at the time whose name was Sebastian. So I couldn't use that. It was already used. Just another thing. Remember when we were talking about the ammo boxes? I didn't go back to Masters, so I have no idea if they had them. But I was in Kmart yesterday, and I think I was, for some reason, we were looking for car stuff, and I ended up in the fishing section of Kmart. I'm going to turn the phone around again. They had these little organizer boxes for $3. They don't have any compartments in them though. But when you've got a heap of chronic in there already, they can stand up. And I'm just thinking when I've got it all filled up, it'll all stand up without them falling down, obviously. But it's big enough for chronic. And it's big enough to have it standing up so you can see the number on the top. $3, Kmart. So I'm going to stick with that. I think we're just about done. I got some other stuff, but I'm going to leave that for my... I'm going to start doing my own floss tube videos, but it's going to not be about so much about general stitching stuff. It's going to be about my personal stitching and what I'm doing. I'm just going to separate that from the colour Cascade stuff that we do with these live feeds. So there's stuff that I want to do. I'll leave that for that. So it will be on the same YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and you've already subscribed to the channel, it will still be on there. It'll just have floss tube in front of it instead of live feed. So you'll be able to go through and find them that way. I think that's about it. Other than someone did ask, with my designs that I showed you, 50% off at the moment. It's 50% off all designs till the 23rd. I'm getting told low battery, but I'm plugged in. So I'm going to have to go, and I will talk to you guys next week. Someone wanted to know about the retreat as well. There's no new information on the retreat. It's all still going ahead, all still good. There's still spots left if you want to join. You've got all year to plan if you want to come from another state. So I hope to see heaps of you there, because that will be so much fun. And I'll talk to you later. So until next week, let me know what you want to talk about through the week. And we always end up with these hour-long videos. So I'll talk to you then. Bye.